Hi, everyone. Welcome to Prowess Project Goes Live. I am so excited to be here, y'all. I cannot even tell you. Today, you are in for a treat. Real quick, though, hey, Leah, it said that the storage was out and we need to remove some so that it records. Okay. Thank you. As you all know, I am not the techie person and definitely need Leah here to help. So y'all are seeing that in real time. But today is all about unleashing the money bugaboos. And I could not be more grateful for this guest. But before we get started, I want to ask a question to get us all thinking and get us all in. I need this. I love it, Kelly. I love it. And get us all in the right mindset, okay? Put into chat, big or small, what is the last thing that you bought for you? Big or small, put into chat. What is the last thing that you bought for you? I can't wait to see these. Mine was $40 sunglasses on on Amazon. And ladies, they look good. I just got to say, they look real good. Put into chat, what is the last thing you bought for you? And I want to hear it if it was that piece of cake. I want to hear it if you got a margarita. I want to hear it if you invested in yourself. This program, amazing. Jill, welcome. Oh, OBMU. Yes, we just got off an amazing lunch. Yes, some decor at estate sale. Love that, Kelly. Yes, a pillow. Yes, Daphne. My daughter stole my pillow. It's a whole thing in our house. OBM, of course, yes. Jenna, welcome. What else? What is the last thing? A haircut. Oh my God. Lainey, yes, so good. Oh, I love these. I love these lovelies. Well, keep these coming. The question is, what is the last thing that you bought for yourself? I'm Ashley Connell, CEO and founder of Prowess Project. What we do at Prowess Project is we help women pivot in their careers to be online business managers. To us, an OBM is a cross between a COO and a virtual assistant with a dash of digital marketing. And you are the secret power for the CEOs who want to scale, have all the ideas, but have no idea how to make it all happen. That's where you come in. So in our program, we train you to be an online business manager, take all that data that we learn about you and match you with your ideal visionary CEO client. So each week we are here to bring you tips, tricks, and introduce you to experts who have not only changed my life, but I have been just watching all their transformations unfold in front of me. And when I met the guest for today, I was floored. I got off the phone and I was like, holy smokes, Leah, we will work with this woman at some point. And before that, we will get her on the live show. So without further ado, I am so excited to bring on Miss Becky Clabaugh. Becky, welcome.
Hello. Yay. Thank you for having me. It's so good to be here.
We are thrilled. And so we were talking before this, and she's like, you know what rhymes with Slaybaugh? And I was like, moolah. And that's exactly why we're here today. Or what rhymes with Clabaugh? Did I say Clabaugh or Slaybaugh? Which one did I say?
Clabaugh. But you're right. I said, what rhymes with Clabaugh? And of course, you said moolah because it rhymes. But I just was like, meh, meh, because the answer is supposed to be Slaybaugh.
She does that too. So, Becky, I was going to go through and try to do you justice in your intro, but I just couldn't. Talk to us about what you deliver to the people you work with, and then we'll take a step back and talk about your journey of how you got there.
Okay, great. Well, I am a certified life coach. I am an expert in emotional regulation for women entrepreneurs. I help them unblock their hidden money potential.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And okay, it's so specific, which I love. I'm all about riches and niches and the whole thing. How did you get here? Talk to us about the journey, and you found your perfect, I don't know, the people who needed your gift. So how did that come about?
Yeah, well, it was a faith fall, honestly, a trust fall, when you think about
Yeah.
it really was. So it honestly, it has evolved over the last 30 years. My degree is in human services. I was a drug and alcohol addiction counselor. So I bring habit change into becoming an entrepreneur because there's so many different shifts we have to adjust. So that's part of the process. Also, complex medical trauma. We a lot of us are walking around with invisible circumstances, and that happened over 30 years ago. My dad was killed in a car accident when I was going through school, and so I was going to fix the world, and I didn't really enjoy the realm of working in a court-ordered DUI circumstance. So I shifted my minor to holistic health and wellness education. And that's where a lot of the somatics came forward 30 years ago. And somatic means
Yeah.
body-based healing. So I was doing Iroprograph journaling and art therapy and dance movement and emotional freedom technique and breath work. And so I brought all those things forward. And because I didn't realize that there were lots of things that were happening on a subconscious level that was keeping me stuck in a lot of areas in my life. So that's where it started.
That is amazing. And so then how did you go even further to decide, okay, I want to work with solving money trauma, money blocks, and then specifically for entrepreneurs, and then specifically for female entrepreneurs?
Oh, that's so good. Yes, it did continue to get tighter as I was getting clearer who I was helping. So I did get certified to be a life coach in 2019 because I really wanted to do that. I'm a natural coach, man. I'm the one that's cheering you on and telling you to get back in the ring with all love and kindness and belief, because I think women, we've got lots of spinning plates, and we do have stories that are downloaded in our nervous systems as little tiny people. That's why I've got that little person back there. That's me when I was about 3. During COVID, I launched my business because I was afraid that COVID was going to eat me alive. And all my children came, 2 of my college students out of 3 of my kids came home.
Yeah.
So what came forward was that I started coaching women, general life coaching. And then I discovered we would talk about money and they would have a visceral reaction. And I was like, whoa, what is this about? So I started integrating tapping into that process. I got certified through a woman who she's basically was trained as an engineer, and she started using emotional freedom technique to create a map, a blueprint that we can get back to feeling calm, grounded, emotionally regulated, so that we can ease mental fatigue that happens as an entrepreneur and a mom and a wife and all the things. What happened to your brain?
Yeah. I can't even get the words out. Okay, so you worked with this woman who was able to take tapping, and I love how you said that. It was really marrying the art of tapping and the science of how she was able to match it. And then how did you decide to go even further and really get specific on money?
Yeah, because I could just see the triggers in that
Yeah.
with making offers or revenue generating activities and knowing your numbers. I've worked with clients when we'd pull up a spreadsheet, they would start to cry or they'd get angry. And that actually happened to me with taxes. My husband's an engineer, so everything's black and white. And another thing with the early childhood paradigm, we all have one, and that's one of the 4 pillars that we work through, is we really go through that process to bless and release that old paradigm and create your own new one. So that's what I have done from that perspective. Is there's no judgment over what my parents were trying to do. They were doing their best. And so I would get angry about taxes when Chris would ask me questions. It was very subconscious. And the awareness is the part of the process of that hidden money agenda. That's something going on with our subconscious thoughts and behaviors that are created in our mind in order to avoid a negative emotion, specifically about money. And I was very interested in the psychology of money. So I started using the somatics and then also cognitive techniques that I was using with my habit changed clients in the past. So I just brought all that together, made my own thing.
Yeah, I love that. So you use this term hidden money agendas. Can you break that down? What are they? What are the different types? How do you know what you have?
Yeah, good question. That was one thing that was stretching my brain to realize that there's more than one thing that's going on with our inner child. And so that my coach, actually, I love this. She helped me unpack that Bugaboos is something I created. I like to bring humor into this container because money is very emotional. I have lots of compassion and empathy for that, and I understand it. So a Bugaboos, plural, it's not just your own inner child. It's a whole friggin' preschool, y'all. You got a whole preschool.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and she's trying to run your business. And what's going on in that is just imagining coming from that perspective of trying to be the CEO who is kind of running around with chocolate all over her hands when I've got a brand new white couch. That's what's going on in our businesses when we're feeling anxious, worried, scared. Let's see, some other of those emotions. Quite frankly, all emotions are welcome here. Emotions are simply vibrations in your body that are just giving you feedback. So that's where we start with that agenda that's going on. Is there's an emotion that's giving you some information, and we can come to it out of curiosity and love, so then we can work through it.
I love that. Interesting. Yeah, that's such a good point. It is. It's just giving you feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about it like that.
A lot of times we can have judgment around it. And, as Brene Brown, she's such an expert, especially in the realm of shame, that when we have the awareness around it, that's where we can have transformation. But the most important thing with the transformation, mastering skills for emotional regulation, I'm confident is the best way to make money and have a profitable business. But safety really does need to precede transformation in order to have a sustainable entrepreneurial journey. That's my personal opinion.
Wait, can you say that again? I want to break that apart. What was the indicator? Regulating your own emotions?
Yep. Learning how to regulate your nervous system. What happens a lot of times when we know that we're probably not in alignment is when we are really obsessing about the actions or the systems in our business first before we regulate our nervous system. It's highly possible, and we'll talk about the quiz here in a minute because that will give you some information of the feedback. Safety really needs to proceed any kind of transformation in order, especially with money in my world, to create a sustainable business and a happy entrepreneurial journey.
So interesting. A lot of the women who are listening right now are either pivoting in their careers and starting a new business to be an online business manager, and they are serving CEOs, oftentimes running their systems and being the person who is looking at the money and looking at the data, and then having to deliver that to someone else who may be very emotional about money.
Yeah.
How do you recommend, or do you have any tips on how they should be thinking about it?
Oh, that's so good. Well, there's a couple things I would love to offer you, and these are some writer downers. Oh, that's a Beckyism.
I love it. Y'all, pen and pencil.
Yeah, the writer downers. So we'll help you integrate an interesting concept, because sometimes it's easier for us to manage other people's businesses or money or things. And a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we just want to bypass it and give it to somebody else. You do that. Coming from that place of safety, where you can actually, the first thing is to get grounded. That's where awareness comes from. Get grounded in your body. A lot of times, I honestly will tell you that there are times I'm like, I'm not even breathing completely. what's going on here? Okay, let's check in my chair, get in your body, feeling that I'm safe in my body, in my chair. And then the other thing is orienting the connection with the space of time in this beautiful room that I'm in, giving that affirmation that, okay, primitive brain, little lizard, bugaboo, I'm safe. And coming into that place of having the authority as the expert, as an OBM, did I say it right?
Yep.
Yeah. Having that confidence in yourself because you are grounded in your body and you're oriented to what's true. Time, space, this is my area of expertise. The bugaboos will give us information that we know that we are not easing into our greatest gifts and abilities, because a lot of times if we're dysregulated, we will have some mental fatigue. It's real. I don't know how. I'm confused. Those are also some clues to notice, like, am I grounded in my body, and am I oriented to my space and what's actually really happening here?
Interesting. So why would I don't know mean you wouldn't feel grounded? Say more about that.
Our primitive brain likes to be as lazy as possible. It doesn't want to do very much. It doesn't want to stretch to create solutions out of any kind of obstacle. Our human brain is completely capable of coming up with a solution. A lot of times, I don't know how. I don't know how, because we've never done it before. So we create evidence for ourselves, looking in the way past as if it's true. Here's a writer downer. This is so good.
Okay.
So everybody write down the word believe. Believe. Okay. We all have beliefs. And a lot of times, whatever we believe is 100% absolutely true. But what we can notice is in normalizing that sometimes our brain is stuck in a primitive place or in that little bitty bugaboo space. It might not be true. So scratch off the 2 letters up front, B-E, and then scratch off the 2 letters in the back, V-E, and someone write in the chat, what's the word that's left over?
Put it in the chat. What are the letters that are left over? Ah! This is so good.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Kelly, Jill, thank you.
Yay. Yes, ladies, 100%. And so the reason why I offered it for us to do this together is because we're connecting. We're supporting one another in this interesting container of curiosity with love and empathy and a little bit of humor. But what you just discovered is sometimes the things that we believe aren't actually true, and no feeling is final. Do you like that or what?
I mean, that's a writer downer too. I don't know if that's on your list, but no feeling is final.
It's a writer downer. We really need to come into the prospect of what's really going on in our brain. A lot of times when we believe I can't do it, it's confusing, or it's too hard, I can't do this, maybe I'll just throw in the towel and go back to my W-2. How many times have we said that as an entrepreneur, which kind of is a sucker punch, and that's a bugaboo. But we can really get into that space of self-sabotage subconsciously, because your brain is just trying to keep you safe. But if we can really unpack and recognize if the lie is true or not, we can come into that place of rejigging it, another writer downer, that we can do it from our body to our brain. In a lot of coaching containers, it comes from our brain to our body. So a lot of times coaches will say, well, you have a mindset issue. Right. And I call BS on that because it's not always true. It could be someone is in a stress response like we just unpacked here. What they believe is really true is actually sabotaging their behavior and their feelings, because it's just a bugaboo that's trying to keep them safe. But there's a way to be able to address it from a perspective of getting grounded in your body and orienting yourself to, I better check in with my coach. I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna get on a call. I'm gonna get in my group, and we're gonna unpack this with love and kindness. And all feelings are welcome here.
Wow, that's really, really wise. I love that the mind to body versus body to mind, and how it really is body to mind so many times.
100%, absolutely. I have another writer downer. I have a Beckyism for you.
Love this. You need a book. Do you have a book yet, or a dictionary?
I'm going to write one for sure, at least a workbook. But this is part of the 4 pillars when you come into the program, that the money magnet method, that what we do in here is we really check into creating a new norm, which is getting into our body, into the sensation of what feels normal, shifting the conscious in the body. So the money sandwich is what I was going to share with you. And it goes like this. So the first layer, that's where we get into the body, the emotional regulation through either, I'm a trauma-informed breathwork facilitator, so we can go through, sometimes we have goal traumas / drama, or a financial wound. So we work through that from the body-based perspective. Then we get into using the thought work that I just showed you from that place of, what do I really believe? Is that true? Let's check it out. And we practice new thoughts, because thoughts create feelings, and feelings create action or inaction to get you the result that you like or you don't. It's just the way it rolls. And then the mindset is the practice. Mindfulness is the practice, because we've got your body regulated so that it can be in connection with your brain.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I love this. We've talked so much like big picture, and I think we needed all of this context. Now I do want to talk about your quiz. And I'll put the link into chat. Don't take this quiz until after you listen to this whole thing, because you're not going to want to miss a second of this. But I do want to make sure we have it, and we'll put it at the end, the show notes and everything. So Becky, talk to us about this quiz, why you built it, and then we'll unpack my results.
Yes. Okay, good. Thank you for naming that. And thank you for participating. That really supports everybody here, because as the leader, I love it so much because everybody check your pulse. Yep. We're all here. We're alive. We're human. And this is 100% okay. It's perfectly fine. We're all here to support that. And I love it, because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about money. Remember, a bugaboo was created because it's a subconscious thought and a behavior that's created in our mind in order to avoid a negative emotion about marketing, networking, writing, speaking, the web, sneaky self-sabotage. And so there's 6 different bugaboos, and we'll unpack them real quick. I'll just kind of give you an overview. Yeah. One of them is overinvesting. This one is sneaky because it comes into a place of, we think that we're investing in something. Sometimes it can be a Hail Mary in order to feel better. Quiz. I'm going to purchase this workshop. I'm going to purchase this thing. I'm going to get this fancy mic. I'm going to go into $15,000 in debt to get a fancy website. Okay, so that's human, and it happens a lot, but it's really to avoid a negative emotion. Like I said, it's a Hail Mary that we throw out there because it's going to be the thing. And it turns into not so delicious a lot of times. The next one is under-earning. Under-earning happens a lot of times for me, because my industry was human services, United, I worked at the United Way or a nonprofit or whatever it was. So it was that place of, well, this is just what we get paid. This is industry standard. My sister was a teacher, public school, and she and I have worked through under-earning thoughts, feelings, and behaviors a lot. And under-earning can really jack us up as an entrepreneur, because we're the last person that gets paid. Yeah, go.
And as you say that, I say that all the time, like CEO eats last. And now, like you saying this, that's my own stuff I got to work through. Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you for naming that too, because 100% coming from an W-2 paradigm into an entrepreneur, it does not only take a mindset shift, but there's fiscal responsibility in that too. Having the right bookkeeping system, having the right bookkeeper / CPA to help you manage those things, and that's a really important thing. But a lot of times we'll be like, I don't want to invest in that. So I love this so much with the under-earning, especially if you've come from a paradigm of piety. Let's just call it that. Mm-hmm. Mother Teresa has a quote that I love so much. She says, "It takes a checkbook to change the world." Boom. Because money a tool. That's it. And it's the emotion, money needs direction. And so coming into that place, I love to earn. I love to save. I love to invest. I love to share in a really big way. And that's why I became an entrepreneur. And right now I'm actually working hard to scale my time, not so much money, but that's part of the paradigm. Okay, so the next one is savings. And that's where you landed, my friend. And it's
Yes,
like
it
a
is.
big dark cloud that follows you. Tell me what your thoughts and feelings are about savings.
So my savings issue is not that I don't save. It's that when I see the savings amount go down,
Mhm.
it freaks me out. Y'all, I don't use gift cards because there's going to be that day where I have zero money in the bank and I need to eat off of those Chipotle gift cards that I got 20 years ago. Like that is my bugaboo.
Oh, well, thank you again for naming that. And it is silly when we think about the behavior, but really there is a reason for it. And we just want to support you in that and just bring it forward with love and compassion. Savings is a metaphor of security. And it really is from that place of, I can relate to that. I like to have a certain amount in my business savings. It's an external validation that actually means nothing. It's neutral from the perspective of, we all can agree in the court of law, you have that much money in your checking account. And it's what our thoughts do to make it mean more than it is, then our feelings go bananas. But we can name it. We have awareness. We can get grounded in our body and claim that process I just shared with everybody from the beginning of orienting ourselves what's true inside the lie. Then we can start to have some freedom. We can get through that. Okay, the next one is income. There's that process of an entrepreneur. A lot of times it can be a variable. And boy, we have lots and thoughts and feelings. I don't have anything in the pipeline. I don't have anybody on the other end. La, la, la. And then it comes into that place where networking sucks, marketing sucks. I hate social media, all the things. And we can really get stuck. So we're not out there shining brightly out in the world because we have a thought or a feeling that's actually just not serving us. But when we think about income, comes to that place when we're calm and we're grounded, we're regulated in our body because we've eased that mental fatigue, Zoom fatigue, decision fatigue, all the things. When we have quality brain health, we can also bring in emotional well-being so that we're out there serving. The end.
Okay, I want to repeat that because I really, really like it. So what you're saying is we worry about the income, we're, next meal, so to speak, pipeline. And once our body is regulated, going back to what you were saying, head, body, no, it's really body, head,
Yeah.
then we can just focus on serving and therefore the money will come. Would that be
Correct? 100%. How many times, Ashley, has that happened for you, my love?
last week? Like, this week, today. Yes.
Yeah, we create that kind of evidence. We can even watch that just when customer service. Now you guys are going to notice these things that, you can just tell the energy of when someone gives you a Starbucks that's sort of kind of not hot, which really makes me very sad when I ask for it extra hot and it's like, meh.
Yes.
I'm noticing that person is completely checked out and they're not really interested in serving me. I have grace for that, but I also understand why. And, listen, right now, things aren't feeling very yummy out in the world. And the more that we can just continue to be calm, grounded, and regulated for ourselves, oxygen mask first so we can serve others. That's the secret to all of this. Grounding yourself, making sure that you're believing things that are actually true, helps you get out there and have inspired action. Then you want to share from that perspective of marketing.
So true. Oh, so good.
And that leads us into the fifth little bugaboo, which is setting, having an income goal. How many clients have you worked with when you say, all right, what's your goal? And they're like, no, ma'am, I don't do goals because I've done that before and it doesn't work. That's called a goal trauma. There's something that has happened in the past that really makes that little bugaboo go hide. And that's where you can notice too, my little bugaboo, when she was a little person and things felt scary, she would just, I'll just hide. I'll go over here. I pretended a lot. I was just an imaginary land all the time. And I'll be honest, I was feeling that way yesterday. I wasn't feeling so delicious about the tasks that needed to take place, but my energy was off. And so I went upstairs. I have a room that now my adult child no longer lives in, and I've made it into my little sanctuary. I got on my yoga mat and I got grounded, and I got into that place of like, okay, what's true? And I let the emotions come forward. I was just feeling like, meh, I didn't want to do it. And I acknowledged it and came to that place of like, yeah, that's allowed here. You get to have a day like that. And then the last one is a sucker punch. And as an entrepreneur, I guarantee you, everyone will be experiencing one of these little guys. Things are going great. You're just like clicking along, and all of a sudden I'm a first degree black belt. And so that's why I use the term sucker punch, because when you think that you're aware, you're really not. You know, situational awareness applies to your business just as it does out in the parking lot. You got to be aware. And when you're not noticing your calendar intact, or you're not obeying from the perspective of what you've blocked your calendar for, you know, you guys do it for your clients. A lot of times we don't do it for ourselves.
Yes.
So those are the bugaboos, and they're here to help you transform and heal, because there really is a way that you can shift. I believe that financial healing is very much in alignment with physical healing. And a lot of it can absolutely come from an inside out experience. And it is I'm calling it now from that perspective, therapeutic lifestyle.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. We're humans. Lots of things have happened, lots of stories, lots of hidden vows. For example, there was a hidden vow in my family that talking about money was taboo. No, thank you. We didn't do that. So I'll tell you.
Look at you now.
Story about that. You guys, my parents, they made me get a job at Wendy's when I was 15. So I had to walk on the busiest street here in Colorado Springs in my Wendy's uniform. And I was so embarrassed. Okay, so I got my first paycheck. I was so excited. I went to the ATM. Okay, this was in like 1984. And I went $40, and it gave me $40. I was like, oh, what happens if I do $40 more? And I got 40 more. No, it taught me how to balance a checkbook. So I started to overdraw. It's a funny story, but it was extremely shaming and very traumatic for me when I realized, oh my God. And so money was just too complicated and too scary. Plus, when I was in third grade, I did have a teacher. I was struggling with math facts because I didn't want to do it. I wanted to go pretend and do shiny things outside. She told me, you're just not very good at math, Becky. Can you imagine a third grade teacher telling me that? So I believed her for a really long time. And I want to write her a letter and say, you know what? I graduated from college with honors. Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, goodbye.
Yeah.
I love it. Goodbye.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where I think that when we can internally validate for ourselves what is true because of our beliefs, it's taken a while. Let me tell you what, we have 3 really amazing kids. And I think having children helped me reparent things for me that was like, wow, that's not even what? And once again, well-intending parents, grandparents, external family members, stories we create in our mind that we just hang on to. And those onion layers that takes time to go through the sneaky lies and the beliefs is like, wow, what is supportive for me? And when we regulate the nervous system with no judgment, there is freedom in that.
Absolutely. And I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit, but I love that you're doing this for women.
Yeah.
Because I notice just in my group of friends, will be like all women talking to each other, and we're talking about relationships.
Yeah. Oh.
Whereas my husband will get with his friends and they're talking about their latest investments.
Right.
They're talking about, hey, this new startup. Hey, do you want to get in on this? Even my entrepreneurial friends, like we're not talking about that. So I'm so glad that you are, and in a different way.
Oh. Yeah. I want to talk about it. Like I said, my husband's an engineer. He's taught me a lot about investing and, compounding and, blah, 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 all that. But I find it interesting. I
Mhm.
absolutely do. And it is in bro speak. I have quite a few clients that are financial advisors, and man, they are bringing it, you guys. I can't wait to have more partnership, power partner opportunities to present with these women who are out there and like, no, stop listening to the news, stop listening to all the things, and let me give you the facts, Jack, because this is what's really happening. And if I can teach you how to invest a small amount of money and you can watch that thing compound over the years, it's so much fun. And a lot of times, one of my bugaboos is over investing. I like to spend money. It feels very yummy to me. In fact, the last thing that I bought was a
Yeah.
stand-up mirror jewelry case. And it's so awesome. You open up, it has a light. And it's so cool.
Let all those jewels sparkle, my friend.
And I don't even know what that's about. But again, it's that talking about it from that perspective of that really lights me up and it makes me happy. And it has a great use for it. But again, living in that therapeutic lifestyle is I'm learning and I'm stepping into lots of things. I'm making lots of mistakes. And that used to not be acceptable. And now it's like, oh, how delicious is that? You're either, finish the sentence for me, Ashley, you're either winning or you're
Losing.
learning.
Oh. Which bugaboo is that? Because
You just did. Thank you for falling into the experience for other people to see how we're just conditioned. You know what? That's okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's like, oh, now we all have awareness. I bet nobody will ever forget when I say you're either winning or you're learning. Yeah. Okay. What do we have? I see some questions here. So
yes, please.
what if someone thinks they have more than one of the pillars? Okay. So you could have a combination of them, the bugaboos. Okay, in the money magnet method, we have 4 pillars that we go through for the healing process. So the first one is the early childhood paradigm. The second one is rejigging those thoughts, feelings, and behaviors so that we can create outrageous goals. We can start to really be like, whoa, wouldn't that be so fun if I could create XYZ? And then we put a task to it because your nervous system is grounded and regulated. And then the next process is coming into what's possible. And then the last one is getting out there, shining brightly in the world because you're creating your own personal customized marketing strategy. For me, the first one I believe is networking, building deep relationships with people. Because in my personal experience, quite frankly, all of yours is people have to trust you with their business, which is like another child. And with me, it's with money. And so to answer your question, that you could have a combination of the different bugaboos and they can shift at different times in your healing journey too.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, fascinating.
Did that answer your question, Natalie?
And
yeah.
Yeah. If you have questions, please put them into chat. I'm sure you all do. And I also want to say that I know that money is very vulnerable. So if these are, things that you don't want to bring up publicly, I know that Becky also has a 15-minute, hey, let's chat. And we'll put all of those links in show notes and in here too. So I could talk to you forever about mine. So since mine is about savings and security and I hate seeing that number go down.
Yeah.
But so my problem is I don't invest as much as I should. Lee and I also had this conversation this morning. And so what do you say there? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I would check in because that is the primary metaphor of safety. I'm curious if you just started to do some exercises in regards to like a journal format. I do believe that, evidence shows us when you write things pen and paper, that there is that experience that's going on in the mind and the body. And in this case, money connection, but checking in, do I feel safe in my environment? Something is released in that relax where we can name our physical safety because there's something in your brain that's not feeling safe. If you were to take some of your savings and you actually invested it in a higher interest of some, if you did something like that, then you'd start to see evidence like, whoa, this is so fun. Now it's compounding and it's a higher interest rate. And then we can come to that place, checking the room, making sure, is the ground holding you? Yep. Is naming what is true. Also with emotional safety, your relational safety, and then your spiritual safety, something greater than you. I just shared with the ladies that I do talk like a truck driver, and I love Jesus. That is something greater than me because I know I need to name it because that is from that place of just really knowing what's true for me and what feels grounded and safe.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, we got a question here. How do we separate our own money stories from our
Ooh.
clients as an OBM, especially if we're highly empathetic?
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful. Love, love, love. Thank you for your question. I am a sensitive little flower. I understand the empathy. Woo. This question is so good. It is our job to make sure that we have clean, energetic hygiene. And that means staying grounded in your nervous system before you get on a call with your client, before you answer their email, before you do any tasks for them. You make darn sure that you're in that place where you're feeling emotionally regulated and that your beliefs are clean, checking in with the lies, and just noticing what's true for you. The more that we can have clean, energetic hygiene for people we serve, their money and their bullshit is none of your business.
God, I need that tattooed to my forehead. Wow. Yes.
Holding space is what it's called. And that's what you're actually doing because they're relying on you a lot of times to be that emotional. They're looking for safety also. We all are. We're humans. And that's what is required in transformation. Those people have hired you to help them transform their business. Is that true?
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And so the more that you can check emotionally safe, physically safe, relationally safe, spiritually safe, there could be, oh, this is going a little deep.
Bring it on.
Okay. It's highly possible in those relationships when we have emotional hygiene that stinks and we don't even know it, it could be a potential element called toxic money. And there's two components to toxic money. There's either a battle or a dependency. And in this kind of relationship, it is possible. Sometimes we do take clients on that there is a dependency. We stay in relationship with that client just for the money and it sucks your soul. So just be mindful of that.
I love that. We say all the time, not all money is green.
Correct. It's really not. And there are some people you're meant to serve and others not so much.
And what I have found is the power to say no when you feel like it's not in alignment.
Yeah. No is a complete sentence.
Complete sentence. And I feel like a rock star. Your money isn't worth anything to me because I don't want to go through your bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, coming from that place, because you are already an empathetic person, that noticing that little 3-year-old, if your gut is telling you something, listen to it.
Yeah.
That's really the whole process of the nervous system. Your vagus nerve is the largest nerve in your body, and it's responsible for all of the organs. And so I think that we bypass a lot of times, we bypass our gut feelings. So just notice that. Start to really get into relationship with like, ooh, what are your spidey senses telling you? What are your little bugaboos telling you? Let's listen. And then you check in. I have a board of directors, and there are other women who are entrepreneurs, and I call them up. Their responsibility is for me to check in and say, I'd really like to invest in this thing, and we evaluate it. And then we decide, because I like to overspend, so they check in with me that I can come into that place of making sure that I'm feeling safe, emotionally, physically, relationally, and spiritually before I make any decisions.
I love that, having a board of directors.
And you as a coach can be a board of directors for your clients too.
Yeah.
And checking in with like, I'd like some coaching on this. And what's so cool is coaching, the element of coaching is really to help people decide.
Totally.
When our brains on fire, listen, and as we speak about that too, with your money, you know that fire is hot. And if you've touched it before, you probably have gotten burned. And you could have been raised in an element where people had said to you, don't touch the fire. And so it's really scary. So if you think about when your brain's on fire and we make decisions from a fiery brain, it's out of a place where we either have been burned or we're afraid. So just noticing from that place when you get calm and grounded in your body, making sure that when you make a decision that it comes from a place where you're feeling emotionally safe.
Wow. Wow. Man, so much. I think we have a couple of questions, and I know we're over. Do you have a couple more minutes?
Mhm.
Okay, wonderful. If there is something we are just embracing, how do we help our children to reframe actions and beliefs they have experiencing growing up? Regina, thank you for asking. That was a question I had and I had forgotten. Thank you for asking that.
I love this. This is so good. Yeah, what an opportunity you have. And it double dips into a generational question that I saw earlier, is that there are times that, you can be thinking about consequences that we can allow our children, let them choose as much as possible and learning from that place of winning. You're either learning or you're either winning or you're learning. And specifically, how do we help our children to reframe beliefs, actions they have experienced and then seen grown up? Yeah, well, you know what? Life happens. And not everybody gets a medal. Not on my watch. I mean, I know that that's probably not really popular. But
You and my husband both. What's with this? Everyone gets a medal. Ugh.
Yeah, because it doesn't give people an opportunity to learn. We have a Division I athlete in college. And let me tell you what, you earn your spot there. And so there's been lots of tears. There's been lots of things. But Meredith has also learned that throwing in the towel just because things didn't work out so great, what we're doing is we're shifting her beliefs. Meredith, are you a Division I athlete? Yes. Are you on the team? Yes. Are you able to actually go and compete? Yes. Did you come in last? Yes. Check your pulse. Are you still alive? Yes. That's what's true. And did you learn something from that? I did. Yeah, she did. Her lineup sucked. And so she's got to go back and rejig it and practice. Every day we have an opportunity when we get calm and grounded and regulated in our body. That's why it's called a practice. Yoga, mindfulness, meditation, prayer, breath work, emotion freedom technique. It's all a practice. So then when you're in the ring and a sucker punch comes, you know how to dodge and duck.
Y'all, do you see why I was so excited to have her on? I mean,
this is so fun. I would love for you guys come to my speed networking event because that's what we're doing in there. We share like a little snippet of these secret hidden money agendas. And then we practice. It's called the 6-Figure Focus Lab. And in the lab, we get really messy in there. You got an opportunity to do some speed networking, but you're talking about how you're helping people and the number one result that you get them so that we can give your brain experience and lifting all the ladies up in there is like, yeah, get out there, share your thing, because what you said, you could just adjust it a little bit. And it really helps you get out there and just be like, you know what, this is all messy and I'm here to help people with their business. Let's freaking go.
Oh my gosh, fantastic. Thank you, Becky. Thank you. Y'all, I know that you are running, not walking, to follow Becky. Take the quiz. Take the quiz. You have been absolutely wonderful. Is there anything that you would leave this group? I mean, you gave so many gems. I can't imagine that you have more up in that head of yours, but I guarantee you do. If there was one thing that you would leave this group with, this very logical, capable, impactful, woo-woo group, what would it be?
Oh, it's so good. Well, first of all, I love that you guys are brave. Being an entrepreneur, welcome to the club. You got to be super courageous to be able to do this. I think what's important is for you guys to dip into this container Ashley holds space for. Talk about money. Talk about feeling like ass and celebrate the heck out of things that go great. Even if you just decide one little thing at a time, you got to celebrate. We got to give our brains evidence that things actually are working. And then you get to decide what's not working. Use your brilliant brain, stretch it, find a board of directors, rejig it, and make it work.
Wow. Kelly, so many good tears here.
Yeah. Oh, God bless you. Really? Oh, yay. Yes. Let's get free, you guys. Let's talk about it.
Oh, I Love that. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us this week. You can rewatch this. I think you will want to. I already saw that in the chat, like, hey, is there a replay? I want to rewatch this over and over again. Yeah, hop over to our YouTube channel, Prowess OBM. And yes, if you want more Becky in your lives, which I'm sure you do, I already put the links in there. Take the quiz. Fascinating. And y'all, thank you for being here with us. We will have more next week, and I can't wait to see you back here next Wednesday. Thank you, Becky.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.